Just honor and glory too. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kakodash. Double honor to the apostle, those great millstone, and such others doing this thing in sincerity and truth done with charity. I'm gonna play some of this trailer,
Can one
fair
stone
use,
change the course of history?
and there's a couple things to note here. So look, these are the, I can stop right here actually. So these are the Philistines right there, right?
Send me your champion.
We saw the Philistines, they look Arabic. And then we see, of course,
In
the
one act
Israelites,
of
they made them look
defiance.
Arabic as well. And a couple things to know from that is, even this proves that we're the Israelites. And I'm going to, Lord will touch on that. Even the fact that they decided to put these Arabs that prove we're the Israelites, because this is acceptable. The world will accept this, right? The world would accept whatever race you put there, as long as you don't put the true Israelites image there. All right? Then also it shows that Esau was full of fucking lies. And mainly the Hamatic theory. So you go to Google, you type in Philistines. It says, no, the Philistines were not Africans. Wait, what? But rather people who originated in Europe and settled in the southern Levant. Let's keep going. And this is trickery because they say this and then that's that, right? 2019, a study of ancient DNA from the Philistine city of Ashkelon found that the Philistines had European ancestry. All right? So they saying that these are Europeans, right? Then it says the early Iron Age Philistines were Europeans in origin, proving there was a migration of Europeans into the Levant. DNA taken from later Philistine graves show they were mixed with the local populations and eventually became assimilated to indigenous people of the Levant. So if the DNA shows that they were assimilated with the locals there, how can you say they're Europeans if you say they're completely assimilated? All right? How can you say that they're Europeans now based off the DNA? Because the locals were Canaanites before Israel came in there. So it's just bullshit. Right? Here it is. They tell that the Philistines were Europeans. Now, this doesn't, what they're saying is the same way they say the Egyptians are Europeans. This is talking about after 1,000 years later, migration happened. There's new people that came and took over their heritage. All right? Just like they came and took over the heritage of the Greeks. They're not the original Greeks. Okay? This is what happened. You have the Seleucid Empire came, took over Egypt, and they became the rulers of Egypt. So you see certain images like Cleopatra, you see Esau, and now people picture Egyptians as white people. Not talking about the ancient Egyptians, but those who migrated there. That's what they're saying with the Philistines, man. And now they just saying these are the Philistines because when they do this, they can say now, well, the Israelites also are white. But the truth is coming out so hard, they have to accept the fact that the Israelites had color. That would mean also now that these Philistines had to have some color. So now they made them both Arabs. Because if for this one group to be a certain way, this other group has to be as well. All right? So Esau, his lies are falling. Hey, Isaiah 25 is happening. Even though they still put their bullshit out there. All right? But surely this covering is coming off more and more. They can't hide it anymore. It is Isaiah 25 and 7. He will destroy in this mount the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. So then they double. Well, let's see who Philistine is. So Genesis 10 and 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Ramah, and Sabteka, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. Let's jump down. 13. And Mizraim begot Ludum, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Nephathim, and Pathrush, and Pathrusim, and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistim and Capithorum. And this is the line of the Philistines right here. So the Philistines come from the line of Ham. Okay? Here we go. And inhabited of Philistia, descendants of Mizraim, who immigrated from Caphtor, Crete, to the western coast, sea coast of Canaan. Whatever they get that from. All right? But this is the word for Philistines. So this is the line of the Philistines. They come from the Egyptians. All right? And everybody knows the Egyptians were dark people. And when I say dark, I mean brown. They range from dark brown to light brown. But dark people, because Ham is a dark people. But they do range from brown to dark. But a lot of darkness. Ham means hot. Okay? Now, when you Google Mizraim, they double down on this Hamatic theory. And Hamatic theory is there's two groups of Hamites. The superior group, which are white folks. And then you have the darker Hamites. And they really try to lump all the Hamites, all the dark Hamites into Cush. So they're saying there's two complexions of Ham. You got red Ham, Edom Ham with no melanin. Then you got all these Hamites with deep, deep melanin. That doesn't make sense. The scriptures don't say that. All right? This devil is a fucking liar, man. And his lies, he's losing the grip on it. That's why he was forced to make these people Arabic. He's losing grip on his fucking lies, man. Okay, so Mizraim, what I want to get right here. Are Egyptians Hamitic? This straight, look. Beginning in the late 19th century, scholars generally classified the Hamitic race as a subgroup of the Caucasian race. So they like to place themselves. So there's different groups of white folk. That's not true. All the races are melanated. Whether it's Moab, Ammon, which are the Southeast Asians, Chinese, Japanese. And then you got Elam, Ishmael, which come from Shem. All right, they're melanated. Ham, of course, melanated. These are things common. This is common knowledge, okay? Everybody know the Hamites are Africans, man. But they put this out there so they can say, okay, when the Jews went here amongst the Hamites, the Egyptians, they were amongst the white Egyptians, quote unquote. Then they says, alongside the Aryan race and the Semitic, thus grouping the non. So how can they be of a subgroup of the Caucasian race alongside the Aryan race and the Semitic? How can they be a mix of the Semitic? Then they say, thus grouping the non-Semitic populations native to North Africa and the Horn of Africa, including the ancient Egyptians. How can they be Semitic and non-Semitic at the same time? All right? This man is a liar. All right? He's did his job, and now his time is up. He came out at the Caucasus Mountains and deceived the world, deceived the nations. And now this truth is coming out, man. So much so he had to change the narrative and make them Arabic. And that alone proves man, I wish I could. Right. What are Africans called in the Bible? Then they say it's Cushites. That is, the black people. Hey, that's madness, man. Look. When you read through the Bible, all the births I mentioned, it only talks about a different race, a different skin one time. Genesis 25 and 25, man. And the first came out, let's start 24. Genesis 25, 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. They called his name Esau. So he was red from head to toe. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them. It doesn't mention his skin complexion, because every baby born at this point in time, after the flood, had melanin. And the reason why I said after the flood, because before the flood, this same curse of leprosy that Esau was born with was placed upon Cain, who was Esau was the reincarnation of that seed of Cain. All right? Yes, the plague of leprosy, that's the curse that was put on Cain. All right? That's the mark. In fact, when you go to Leviticus 13, when you look up the word plague when it's talking about leprosy, which one of them is a yellow thin hair, who has that yellow thin blonde hair as part of that curse. All right? That word for plague, nagai, all right? It says stroke, plague, disease, mark, plague, spot. Then it says mark of leprosy. That's what Cain was hit with, man. But the flood happened, and what was born after the flood? Melanated people, man. Ranging from light to dark, different facial features and shit, but all melanated. All right? Then we get to Esau. He didn't have it, so they made mixed of him at birth. This is Exodus 4. And 6, and Yahweh said furthermore to him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. So when he put his hand in, he pulled out, it became white. This is why this scene is always missing from the old Ten Commandment movies, man. All right? I can't recall it being in any one of them, you know? Maybe they put it in one and I missed that one. But for the most part, they didn't put this scene in there because he didn't have melanin to take away. So the truth is coming out that these are a darker people. Now they put Ishmael because they can't put the full truth out there. Not really, not on the mainstream. With too much backlash. But also that's prophecy, man. All right, for one, this man's a devil. He's not supposed to do what's right. But it's prophecy that we will be called not the church of Israel. This is Amos 1. Salakia. This is Amos 1. Am I tripping? I am tripping. It's Hosea 1. And 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. Excuse me. Which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people. Shit. There it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. So that was the curse that we're going to be told, no matter what facts we bring out, no matter what the proof is, we're going to be told we're not the people. That's prophecy. So the truth is hitting them so hard, they're backing away from their own bullshit they set up to try to prove, to try to make it seem like they're the Israelites. Yeah, the white Egyptians. So you got the white Israelites, and then that's the bullshit they push out, man. They had to do that, all right, to try to make themselves fit in the picture. But no matter what they did, it just don't fit. Because then what about Japheth? What about all these other seeds of Shem, like Ishmael, who we know are the Arabs? And Arabs is a loose term, it's a term we use loosely because it means mixed. We got a lot of Midianites that's also with the Arabs, even Elam. All right, but we know, hell, even with the Elam, you can trace the Persians, which Iran, back to Persia, back to Elam. So we know they're Shemitic. So we understand. So we can see the melanin across the globe and all these nations. How do you fit yourself into two different groups, or you got white Israelites, white Egyptians. No, that's not how it works. Why the ancient artifacts of Egypt? Why are they dark? Why are the ancient artifacts of Greece? Why are they dark? All right, because the world has melanin to this day. All right. So the facts are coming out, man. They can't hide it. This is Second Esdras. This is like a last feeble attempt to hide who we are. It's too late. The world knows you're not the people. That's just facts. So now they just trying to keep it from that we're the people, man. And this is Psalms 2. Because that's what it boils down to, man. They okay with saying, oh, it's the Arabs, or it's this, is that. It just ain't you niggas. It ain't you Mexicans. It ain't you natives. They okay with that. Because who are they really warned against? Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying. So they're fighting against the Lord by fighting against us. But you can do nothing against the truth but for it. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. So this is what they say. Let us break their bands. They have to hide who we are. Now, they can't say that they're the people anymore like that. It's coming out too much. So now they put two groups of Arabs there. They got the Philistines as Arabs, which they're Hamites. All right? That land you call the so-called Middle East, all right? Today, the faces there are Arabs. But the Canaanites were not Arab, man. Those are Hamites. The Philistines, Hamites. Mitzrayim, which is just right underneath, there's a little waterway, separating them. All right, which are the Egyptians. Those are Hamites. And then right under them, to the east, you got Cush. They're just trying to say that's all of us. But the Ethiopians aren't even the darkest of the Hamites. That's the funny part. Cush is like Jake, man. Does it say Ethiopians? I said, are you not like the Ethiopians unto me? I think it's Hosea. Amos 9 and 7. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? Saith Yahweh, have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Syrians from Ker? So, for one, the Lord controls all nations. If any nation was in captivity, the Lord put them there. Whenever they got delivered, the Lord took them out. All right? Plain and simple, just like he deals with us. That's one layer, However, we're his chosen seed. But Israel, we range from light to dark, light brown to dark brown, like the Ethiopians, man. All right? Plain and simple. This is. I was gonna something else. I'll get that later. This is Song of Solomon 1 and 5. Let me start at 1. No. Let me start at 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. So King Solomon wrote this, and it's poetic. Are we not referred to as the wife of the Lord? King Solomon takes that stance, being the wife of the Lord. All right? Song of Solomon 1 and 5. I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem. I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. So this is physically. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard have I not kept. Sounds like slavery. Sounds like prophecy. Sounds like Esau, my twin brother, who it is said will be the last ruler of Israel, put us in captivity and made us keep his vineyard while we were being called black. No longer referred to as Israelites, we just called black. We lost our heritage, we just called dark. Here's a reminder that black and comely, black and beautiful, man. Dark and lovely is an actual brand, man. That's spiritual. But they can't hide this anymore. So let's put some melanin on them. You know how we got to do the Philistines till we can't put that white image of the Africans or the Hamites no more. Let's make them Arabic too. Truth is coming out, man. Hey, this is Daniel 7. And 1. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. So, woolly textured hair, and I forget the year of dictionaries. The Malcolm has the actual definition from the dictionary. But when you look up wool, it says the textured hair of Negro people. Okay? His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as the burning fire. Excuse me. This is Daniel 10 and 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, so he was shining. And his eyes as lamps of fire. And now this is his actual skin. You look at somebody's body, you see their clothing. So that's like beryl, and I believe beryl is green. Okay? I could be mistaken, double check. But now we're describing his actual skin. You can see in his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. So this is describing our Lord, man. He's a dark brown man. And when you look up polished, it's qualal, and it says burnished. You know? And you see somebody with that dark, good skin, not them dusty ass Hamites, man. That dark melanin, they be shiny. Oh, they be shiny. And I know y'all brothers, y'all done seen a bitch with that dark, good skin. She just got a glow to her. The sun shining. They ain't talking about no sweat. It's just a glow. Man, that's that good skin. Contrary to what Esau want to fucking tell you. This is Revelation 1. It's 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girded about the path with the golden girdle. All right. His head and his hairs were like white like wool, as white as snow. That white woolly hair again. Negroid texture hair. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. So it's dark brown. And his voice as the sound of many waters. Got that deep voice. Okay, plain. Revelation 2. And 18. And unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write, these things saith the Son of God, who had his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass. Remember, he had a garment on from all the way down to his feet. So what do you see? What skin do you see? You see his feet. Like fine brass. He's brown. And it goes as far as it says it was burned in the furnace. He's dark brown. So we got King Solomon saying he's dark. We got Moses when he put his hand in as a miracle. He pulled it out. It was white. When he put it back, it said it became as his other flesh. Meaning it got melanin put back on it. So this truth is coming out so much, the only thing they can do now to try to hide that we're the Israelites is put another brown group there. But now they just fucked up all the other lies even more because they had to make the Africans, excuse me, they had to make the Hamites Arabic as well. Which is what we've been saying all this time. For David, the Israelites, the Messiah, Yahweh Shai is his name, to go hide amongst the Egyptians and to blend in, they must have looked the same. To go blend in, going to hide somewhere is one thing. They went and they blended in because now they weren't chased. So they must have had similar complexions. We've been saying that. So now what did they do? Well, we can't just make the Israelites with color. We got to make who we've been calling white this whole time, these Hamites. We got to make them with color too. Esau's such a devil. Because another thing they say is the reason we got put in slavery is because of the curse of Ham. Which one is it? The man is simply a liar. That's why it doesn't add up, man. The truth remains the same. There's no lie of the truth. And let's get this, man. We're doing this. 2nd Esdras 6. And 28. 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And the truth is coming out, man. Now Esau was just doing damage control. They still want to do Bible movies, but they can't put their image up like that because, hey, there's even people of the white persuasion, so-called white, that will scoff it. It's not historically accurate. The ancient they had brown skin. So now what they do, they put Arabs up. They don't put anything except us, because who they want to war against? The Lord and us. That's how you know we're the Israelites. All praises, honor, glory to Yahweh Ba'Sham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Sham Kakadash. Double honors of the apostles of the great millstone. And it's Satan brothers doing this thing in sincerity, truth, and maturity. Shalom, Abba.